I never believed in stories about haunted houses. I always thought they were exaggerations by people with overactive imaginations. Until the day I answered the last call from House 93. It was a cold October night. I was on duty at the emergency services, a 911 operator, when the phone rang with a strange static hiss, as if the call was coming from a place very far away or from deep underground. "Help, please." The voice was weak, feminine, and sounded distant, as if it was being swallowed by the very air. "Ma'am, what is your emergency?" I asked, trying to stay calm. "They are here. They came back. House 93. Please don't leave me alone." Before I could ask for more information, the phone went dead. Protocol dictated that I trace the call, and when the system finally displayed the address, a shiver ran up my spine. 93 Carnation Street. I knew that address. It was the house that had been the scene of a massacre more than 20 years ago. A man had gone mad and killed his wife and 2 children, then hanged himself in the basement. The house had been abandoned ever since. No realtor could sell it. No neighbor went near it. Even so, something inside me, perhaps curiosity, perhaps madness, made me drive there after my shift. Almost 3 in the morning. The gate was ajar, creaking in the wind. The windows covered in dust. But what stopped me was the landline phone ringing inside. Yes, the same sound as the call. I went in. The sound came from the living room, where an old rotary phone was shaking on a table covered in cobwebs. The device rang incessantly. I picked it up. "Hello?" Silence, then heavy breathing. And then, a voice identical to my own answered, "You shouldn't have come." The phone dropped from my hand. Behind me, slow footsteps began to echo in the hallway. I spun around, but there was no one. Only the sound of the footsteps getting closer, louder and louder, until they stopped right behind my shoulder. A frigid whisper brushed my ear. "Now it's your turn to call." The light flickered and everything went dark. When I woke up, I was sitting at the table, the phone in front of me. It rang again. I answered without thinking. "Emergency, what is your situation?" I spoke, my voice trembling. On the other side, a woman was crying. "They are here. They came back. House 93, please don't leave me alone." And it was at that moment that I realized it was my own voice on the other end of the line. Since then, the phone hasn't stopped ringing, and every time someone answers, the story starts again. House 93 doesn't want silence. It wants an echo. And perhaps next time, it will be you who answers the call. The following deposition was found on an audio tape inside House 93, next to the old, still-connected telephone. The operator's name has been redacted from the official registry. Static, heavy breathing, then the feminine voice whispering, trembling. "If anyone is hearing this, please, don't hang up. I don't know where I am anymore. I think I'm inside the house, or the house is inside me, I can't tell." Distant sound of footsteps creaking wood. It all started after the call. I shouldn't have come back here. But it's like something pulled me in. Every night at 3:33 a.m. the phone rings. And every time I answer, I hear my own voice, a little weaker, a little more desperate. Yesterday, I tried to leave. The door was open, I swear. But when I looked out the window, there was only fog. No street, no streetlights, nothing. Just the sound of the phone, ringing in every room all at once. Loud interference noise, followed by a suprasub. The voices call my name now. They say I need to answer one more time, that it's the only way I can leave. But every time I answer, something dies inside me. I think I'm replacing someone. There's a photo on the living room wall. A family, 4 people, but now there are 5. The new person is me. Silence for a few seconds, then light knocking on wood. They are coming. I can hear the phone ringing in the basement. It won't stop. It's the loudest sound I've ever heard in my life. Like hell itself is calling. Sound of wind, something falling, the phone ringing very close to the microphone. If you hear that sound, don't answer it. Promise me you won't answer. Because the call never comes from outside. It comes from inside of you. Multiple whispers overlap. The woman's voice blends with others, identical voices, repeating the phrase "don't answer" until it becomes a distorted chorus. They need a new voice every full moon. That's how it started. That's how it will continue. One last ring of the phone and silence. Forensic note: the tape was found next to an old telephone still connected to the line. The device had been out of service for over 20 years. In the central registry, a final call was recorded to the operator's number, made exactly at 3:33:35. We arrived at Carnation Street, Rua dos Cravos, under a heavy fog. House 93 looked different from the others. The air around it was denser, as if time moved slower there. No sound of crickets, no wind. Only the sharp crack of our steps on the wooden gate. The phone was ringing. It was an old metallic sound echoing throughout the empty neighborhood. There shouldn't have been any power on that line, yet the ring was loud, rhythmic, almost alive. We went inside. The hallway was covered in portraits, all with scratched out faces except for one. The woman in the photo seemed to be looking directly at me. In the back of the house, on a dust-covered table, was the black telephone, the same one described in the old reports. The wire was cut. Even so, the device was ringing. One of the recruits, Almeida, answered. "Central, this is Officer Almeida. What's the emergency?" There was silence. Then a laugh. Faint but feminine. The voice replied in an almost inaudible whisper. "Thank you for answering." The phone dropped. Almeida started bleeding from the nose and collapsed. We tried to revive him, but he was babbling something that chilled me to the bone. "She's here. She wants out." The ringing started again, but this time it came from inside the walls. It was as if dozens of telephones were embedded in the plaster, calling in unison. We followed the sound down to the basement. Down there, we found a chair, a cracked mirror, and the switchboard operator's body. She was sitting, the phone in her hand, her face motionless. But her reflection in the mirror blinked. I swear on everything sacred, her reflection moved. It smiled at me, and at that very instant, the phone rang one more time. Final audio transmission, sound of rapid breathing, wood creaking. The sergeant speaks in a low voice. "If anyone finds this recording, do not go into the house. The phone, it doesn't call people. It calls voices. It keeps them." The sound of the phone increasing, dozens of overlapping rings, almost deafening. They're not ghosts, they're echoes. Every call is a soul trying to escape. Increasing static, distorted screams. "She's behind me, oh God, it's my face in the mirror. I'm in the mirror." When the rescue team arrived in the morning, there were no signs of the sergeant or the other agents. The recording above was recovered from the patrol car's radio, parked in front of the house, with the engine still running. Inside the house, only the telephone, now silent, until 3:33 a.m. when it rang again. End of file 93. But if you hear the sound of an old telephone ringing somewhere near your house, especially in the dead of night, don't answer.
I invite you to subscribe to True Dark Stories. We have so many dark tales to tell.